Hello, hi, my name is John A. Davis, and I'm a sixth grade teacher at Tilden Middle School in Philadelphia, PA. And today we are going to explore topics and ways that we can support our English language learner students in our classrooms. And one of the very first things that we can do that is by building a connection through our cultural similarities. Culture influences everything that we do, the way we eat, the way we dress, the things we like to do. And as a teacher, to be able to connect with a student when they come into your classroom and they just came from halfway across the world or just somewhere, a country you may have never been, is valuable and imperative. And the bigger term for that would be called cultural competence. um, and then the next thing that we want to talk about is how making sure that we integrate that into our lesson plans. Like, how do we create events, maybe cultural, a multicultural day, or uh, learning about a holiday or a very special event or time period in a different culture or student culture, and give them the opportunity to speak about that and lead that lesson. That's one of the ways in my experience that I've always done that. The next thing we want to talk about is how can we support them in our classroom with their needs that they have, because every student has a different need. And in my experience with English language learners, sometimes they're afraid to ask for help. So you have to really strategize how you will approach them, because they won't ask for help or they won't say they need extra time or something. So you have to make sure that you're always extending that extra mile, because some students may just, ask, and some students may not. I think one of the ways that you can help students who have special needs, in my experience, honestly, I had a student who had I'm not sure exactly what it is, but she had a nurse. And what I did for her was I set her in the front of the classroom versus in the back, because she would always complain and say that she couldn't see and she couldn't hear me as well. Her English is very well. She's well advanced into her English, but she also was taken out of class for speech therapy. And I think like that use of speech therapy during my class period boosted her confidence. I feel like some days she may have came in, she may have been a little bit down, and then after the therapy she felt better and she was actually confident to answer question or work with a partner, because it was oftentimes she didn't want to work with somebody. So in my experience, I think it's all about making sure that they feel comfortable and boosting their confidence, because everyone around them is looking at them or whispering and things like that. In my experience with having an English language learner with special needs, um, I think the importance of understanding the social, emotional, and cultural needs and routines and procedures of students is something that needs to happen, because in my experience, I've seen students who may have not been used to it or have never been in a school setting or have verbally told me that they have this is their first time ever being in school, so they have no idea of that, the structure of how school operates. Okay, you come into class, you sit down, you wait for the teacher. So sometimes they're up, they're playing around, they're doing this, and it's just kind of like getting them to understand. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 months out the school year, but just constantly reiterating that, doing the routine constantly every day, being consistent even when it's a bad day and the whole entire class is bouncing off the walls. um I think with English language learners, they are trying to navigate through so many things, so just building a way where navigating those things become a part of just their student life is something I think is imperative. And as a teacher, you want to show. And then some things, this goes back to case in point with culture, some things that we do might be culturally in our academics and something that they may not do. For example, I had a student, she wasn't in our ESOL program, but she was from Ghana, and she said if she wanted to answer a question in class, she had to raise her right hand. So I think there's also some cultural differences and similarities in academics too. So just understanding that. So moving forward on how can we make these home and school connections, I feel like um, family, sometimes I've witnessed parents not speak as well English, and sometimes, just maybe having them come in and talk with us, or having programs where we can help them also learn better English, where they don't have to pay for it, and it's free to them, and it's helping their child, and it's right there at the school. um I think with family, you just have to stay connected. Always let them know. In my experience, I feel like other cultures have a very high value for education, and they're just trying to learn what's going on, how our school system work. And I think just keeping them very informed of everything in the best way that they could understand will help them um, feel safe with us, feel safe with educators, feel safe with the school system, feel safe sending their children with us, feel safe just to be able to come and say what they need, because oftentimes parents also do the same thing. They won't ask for what they need. They'll just send the student or their child, and we just want to open up that avenue for them to feel comfortable to say, hey, I need more, and us be able to provide that resource. And we can do that in so many different ways. I don't want to hold you guys too long in this video series. We can go on and on and on about our English language learners and how we can just support them overall. I love all of my English language students. We have been together all school year, and I look at it as each one teach one. I've learned the Spanish alphabet, and I've learned how to say hello in Vietnamese. So each one teach one. They learn some things from me, and I learn some things from them. So long as we keep making those connections with all of our students, English language learners, special needs, IEP, those who get finished before everybody else, just make those connections with everybody, and we will just constantly progress. So that's the end of my little video series. Thank you, everyone. Have a good afternoon.